What's up, turds? It's Sean Korea with Team Dudescent here, bringing to you another video. This time around, it's going to be a deck profile video on the deck that I used to pilot in the most recent Ultimate Cup. I took LORDKNIGHTMONX and I went 6-1-1, placing 9th place overall in the tournament. The deck was super fun, and I actually didn't play it too much, but it was I pretty much spent a lot of the deck, a lot of the day just learning optimal plays in certain matchups. So really enjoyed my time because obviously I always play Mirage, always getting the tops with those. But instead, I decided to switch it up a bit, and I'm glad I did because ninth place. Unfortunately, I bubbled out of 8th, getting the Shine Gray. But it is what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and get to the video. So starting off with my eggs, I have 4 Sunamons. This is the best egg for the deck. This is the BT6 Sunamon. When you trash a card in your hand using one of your effects, draw 1. So you play this at 4 of. The only thing I don't like about this egg is that in the Mirage matchup, it can kind of screw you when you're trashing cards and it forces you to draw. But other than that, the cycle is amazing. In every other matchup, really helps you see your pieces that you need to get to. Not much to say about that. That's pretty self-explanatory. Next up for the rookies, we have 4 Goblimon. Goblimon, when one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, gain a memory. This is one of the best rookies in the deck for obvious reasons. You're always trashing cards from your hand, so that's the main engine of the deck, draw engine of the deck. So that's how you're going to be able to extend your plays with Gobly by gaining a memory. Next up, we have again, one of the other contenders for the best rookie in the deck is probably Gazimon. In a meta of Mirage and decks that cheat memory, Gazi comes in really clutch. Even in the mirror itself, stops memory gain from effects other than tamers. So stops your jack raids, stops your Mirage effects, stops any of that nonsense, Koichis, whatever you want to call it. Stops memory gain from other LORDKNIGHTMON decks. So Gazi, in my opinion, has to be a 4 of in this format. It's just way too good in this type of meta. Let's see. For the next rookie, we have 2 Psychmon. So Psychmon, I just didn't want to deal with Demon Lords. Also, Psychmon has a really good purpose. I mean, it's arguably the second best floodgate for purple. If not, I don't even know if purple has another one. I don't think it does. But preventing reduced play cost is really good because you go so wide in this deck, and this stops Death X. So also against hybrids, if they're trying to do their 2-cost option play, the Ancient Guardian Deity, this prevents it. So really, really good, especially if people aren't watching the board state. You can catch them off guard with this. This actually came up in my first match against Demon Lords. I just kept playing it back over and over and over and over and over again. They could not deal with it. So Demon Lords was very free in that matchup. So for the last rookie, we have one Gabu X. Gabu X, I really like this. Sometimes I'm digivolving into it. Maybe you can digivolve into it for 1 if you want to, but for the most part, I'm trashing this, and then I'm playing it with Cerberus X so that I can get top 4. It's really nice because you can add two cards with Garurumon or XAnybody. Obviously, you're not running any Garurumons in this deck, but you get to potentially add 2 with Gabu X's effect because you get your XAnybody cards. So your Protoforms, your Dober X's, Lord Knights, your Cerberus. Potentially it's an add 2, so that's really, really good. Let's see, that's it for the level 3s. Next up for the level 4s, we have the main guy, Dober. Dober X, this card's really cracked when paired with Protoform, so obviously Protoform reduces Digivolution cost, but Dober X itself, on play, one of your Digimon gains retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn, so that can potentially come up because in this deck you are playing your level 4s a decent amount, so you will be able to get your on-play effect decent amount. But the main effect that you're going to be using all the time is going to be the one Digivolving effect, draw 1, trash 1, and then if Protoform is in the effect, is in the sources, you also get retaliation. So that's really nice as well, because usually you're going to tuck Protoform underneath and you're going to Digivolve for 1 into Dober X. And obviously the combo is you have Gobly tuck Protoform, go into Dober X for 1, and then you gain it back with Gobly. Because it's a draw and trash one, so you're gonna trash a card, gain a memory with Gobly, and then it's basically a free Digivolve into a level 4. So that's super nasty. Not much more to say about that other than the inheritable, which lets you gain a memory if you play a Digimon by card effect. So that comes up all the time as well. Easily the best level 4. Not much else to say. The next level 4 that we have is Ogre. Ogre is really nasty. So it has the blanket effect when one of your effects trashes a card, gain a memory, and then it also has it as an inheritable. So in this deck, you are again playing your level 4. So if you play level 4 out and then you just, let's say, have another stack, then you can utilize his gain a memory effect to keep on cheating memory, and then you can Digivolve on top of it to utilize the inheritable. So really love this, especially when it's like Gobly into, let's say you don't want to push out and raising Gobly into Ogre, then you're ready to go into a Cerberus X the next turn. You're basically going to be gaining a memory with Cerberus X Digivolve, right? Because let's say you go you have this stack, and then you tuck Protoform underneath and Digivolve into Cerberus for 2, and then you gain 2 back. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess it's technically like a free Digivolve if you want to think about it that way. That's it for the Ogres, just 3 of them. And then 3 Delta. I was thinking about maybe changing this to 4 at some point, but 3 was good enough. On play, when Digivolving and on deletion, trash your card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 4. Really cracked. It Digivolves on top of Gazi for 2. So that's even better because you're running 4 Gazi. So you're running 4 Gazi. You're always playing your level 3s from trash. So a lot of the time it is just going to be a 2 to Digivolve. But again, if it kind of works like a pseudo, Gobly works as a pseudo Gazi because you just trash a card and you'll gain a memory back with Gobly. And you'll probably destroy the floodgate that they have out on board, and you'll be able to gain your memory that way. So on play, when Digivolving and on deletion, the on deletion can come up against like purple hybrid, because let's say they delete your Delta, and then your Delta can pop one of their Digimon. So that's really nice. Also blocker inheritable, which I didn't realize how insane that was, but playing the Ultimate Cup, I had so much value for the blocker because you have a 15k LORDKNIGHTMONX stack, and it has blocker, so it gives you a sense of protection, especially against those speedier decks. And you're usually going to have like Protoform underneath, so like let's say they somehow eliminate your LORDKNIGHTMONX blocker stack, that's 15k, you at least get the Protoform underneath to recover and slow them down, and helps you counter. So that's it for level 4s. For level 5s, we have 4 Cerberus X. Cerberus X on play, you may play 1 purple level 3 Digimon from your trash without paying the cost, so that's really nice. And then when Digivolving, trash 1 card, draw 1, trash 1. Then if there's a Cerberus X or XAnybody, you can activate the on play, so you get to play level 3. Again, the combo is you go into you'll probably have Gobly, and then Gobly you Protoform into Dober X, and then Dober X, from there you'll trash, let's say you trash a rookie, and then you go into Cerberus X, and then you play the rookie that you just trashed. So that's really nice, especially when you need to recur your floodgates to protect yourself from like Mirage effects, or let's say like Psychmon from like Hybrid or 7DL. Really good. And then obviously the probably one of the best parts of it as well is that it is has the inheritable of delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend. So that's how you're going to win like pretty much 99% of your games. You're just going to play a body, go into LORDKNIGHTMONX, you're going to swing Alliance, and then delete it, unsuspend, and then swing again. So really nasty there for the full OTK. Next up for the level 5s, we have Bason. It basically does the same thing as Cerberus X without the need for a Protoform, so that's really nice. It has Scapegoat, so if something were to delete it, you can delete one of your other Digimon to prevent that deletion, but then it's when Digivolving is you play a level 3, so you can see kind of like the playstyle of the deck. You're just playing your level 3s from your trash, and you're using those bodies to control the board and create aggression in the same manner. The Inheritable is really good. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may play one level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. So this on top of like Delta is really nice because you'll have a big blocker, and then it pretty much they don't swing. They can't swing, and if they forget about it, which sometimes people do for whatever reason, let's say they're not looking at inheritables, then you just get a free level 4, and it's super nice. And it's good. It's good because let's say against Mirage, you need to go into your level 5 and play level 3 without drawing. Bastimon is a clutch attack. So to be able to go into level 5 without having to go into Cerberus X and risk passing your turn with a Mirage effect. Last two level 5s, we have Lady Devon X. So on play when Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, give one of their Digimon end of attack, delete this Digimon. This comes up obviously against Mirage or unsuspend decks, because they're gonna swing, unsuspend, and then they're gonna become immediately deleted. So prevents the OTK, but also if you Digivolve and it has a token underneath, you get the Volay Zardukin level 4 5k retaliation blocker. So that's really nice in the mirror in itself. I was playtesting it the other day, and it's really annoying when you go into Lady Devi X with a Protoform, because you summon the retaliation blocker, and like, yes, they have let's say in the mirror they do collision. You just block with that retaliation blocker, and it's super annoying if they can't answer that blocker. The last level 5, which actually came up in one of my matches, was Argamon. This card is super cracked. So Digivolves for 5 initially into purple or green, but if you can suspend your opponent's tamers, and you reduce the cost by 1 for each card that you suspended, for each tamer you suspended. And then its opponent's turns, it's like blanket effect is that their tamers can't unsuspend. So it's kind of like that old level 6 Argo that came out, but now this is a level 5, so it's really nice, because what's gonna end up happening is you play your level 4 from, like, let's say Lord Knight effect, and then you just go into Argo to like shut them down for the turn. Really insane against red hybrid, purple hybrid. It's an absolute lockdown, so they essentially have to expunge a kill spell in some sort of way, or have some sort of resource, or play another tamer in order to continue what they want to do. Obviously, they need their tamers to be unsuspended so that they can start swinging it out, and if they can't do that, then they're stalled out. So this came up a lot, so surprisingly enough. That's it for the level 5s. Now for the level 6s, we have 3 LORDKNIGHTMONs. LORDKNIGHTMON, I mean, this is the base of the deck, right? On play when Digivolving, play level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. Opponent's turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with a Royal Nitrate. So really nice for slowing down those like Rookie Rush decks. In the event of let's say something like purple hybrid, Digivolving on top of this is fine. Let's say best thing to do would be to swing, use Cerberus to delete your Digimon, so that it's just you just have one body on the board. And then when they have to go into and then you'll be unsuspended. When they go into their Duskmon, they have to change the color, right? So it's this purple black right now, so it's 2 colors, but then they'll change it to 1 color. And then when they do that, where you're gonna trash was a total of 2 cards, right? So kind of awkward, because then their Valkyrie is only gonna be 9k, so which is not enough to swing over this Lord Knight. So really nice for those stalls, but that didn't come up too much. I mean, it can. The main thing is just the one Digivolving effect, on play one Digivolving effect, which lets you play a level 4. Because it's what is really nice is when you go Lord Knight into, like I said before, Lord Knight into Delta, or Lord Knight into Ogre, or Lord Knight into Dober X to give this retaliation. So we're doing that. Next up for the level 6, you only run 3. You really only need 3, and that's it. Next up, we have 3 Lord Knight X, the main boss of the deck. So this card is so damn good. So you have Collision Piercing for each of your Digimon. Digivolve When digivolving for each of your Digimon, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then until the end of their turn, one of their Digimon can't digivolve. So this card is actually like super cracked against Mirage, especially with the new variant of the Huenkun. What a lot of people do is that they'll use Huenkun to play out their level 3, right? So essentially what ends up happening is, like, let's say you summon another body somehow, let's say just like Lord Knight, or even like Cerberus, or even Baste, and then you go into Lord Knight. You don't even have to go straight into Lord Knight X. You can just proto into Lord Knight X, and then you'll de-digivolve the Mirage stack by 2. So it'll de-digivolve Mirage by 2 because you have 2 bodies on board. It'll de-digivolve them from Mirage to their Huenkun, and then their Huenkun down to their eggs, so that their stack explodes basically. And then if it doesn't, let's say for whatever reason you only have 1 Digimon on board, it still prevents them from being able to digivolve. So that's really, really good. And then the alterns, while Lordknightmon or XAnybody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your Digimon with Knightmon in their text gain Alliance and 3000. So essentially the idea behind Lordknightmon X is you'll play a body, you'll swing Alliance 2 checks, and then it's going to gain +3, so it's going to be 15k from itself, and then plus whatever. Normally it'll be like let's say like Dober X, or even like Deltamon, and then you give it another like 4 to 5k, so you're going to end up being in like 20k range. So really, really good, because you're going to be able to swing over those annoying mother decks. You're going to be able to swing over like Magna. Really, really nice. And it has collision, so it forces them to block, and then when they block, you're going to pierce them, so it's going to be piercing 2 checks. So really, really nice. That's how you control the board with Lord Knight. The last level 6, you have the One of Anubis. This card's cracked. I mean, even if I could run it at more, maybe I would run it at 2, but I feel like I see it all the time at 1 anyway. This card is limited for a reason. When digivolving main, you may trash up to 3 cards in your hand, then play 1 purple Digimon card from your trash with a play cost reduced by 3. For each card trashed by this effect, further reduce it by 1. So you can potentially reduce up to 6. If you trash 3 cards, basically you get to reduce by 6, right? And then your turn, when an effect plays one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. If this effect didn't delete, draw 1. So this is actually one of the MVP cards against Mirage as well, because what will happen is, let's say what you can do is you can build into a stack and then go into Anubis, and this helps you mill your cards from your hand so that they don't gain crazy amounts of memory. And then if you bring out, let's say like Gazi, they can't gain memory anyway. So it's a great shutdown. Having this turn 1, it feels like game over already, because you're able to just turbo out your Digimon. You're able to have multiple Digi on board, wiping whatever they have. And if they don't have anything, you get to draw more and have more consistency to set up in the back. So turn 1 Anubis is like crazy, to be honest. For the last Digimon, we have 2 Shine. This was actually a 1-1 split between it was like 1 Shine and 1 Zeed, the Zeed Millenniummon, but I was thinking about it, and the value of Shine is actually so insane against most decks, just because let's say it's a rookie based deck and they have like a bunch of setup, and they're like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, I can just like turbo in the next turn as long as I like play a boost or play a training, and then you just do Shine, and then they're locked out and it's game over. You know what I mean? So it's really, really good. Obviously, you get to do that 2 times, because you'll have one Digivolving, and then if you manage to get your swing off and then delete itself, then you'll get another minus 5k. So really, really nice. And then end of attack, delete this Digimon, one of your opponents Digimon, recovery +1. So everyone knows Shine, everyone loves Shine, everyone hates Shine. So great card, really love it. I don't know if I would necessarily bring it back down to 1 for a Zeed, because Zeed's kind of niche, but I really do love having the consistency of always seeing Shine in my hand. When I want it, I'll see it, and I don't mind trashing it, because I know that. Because the thing about having running 1 Shine is that it's like, oh damn, you don't really want to trash it, because what if you need it later? But I don't mind trashing it, because I'll probably just see it again, is my logic. That's it. Now for the options. I mean, This is the self-explanatory four purple Membus, search top four, add a Digimon, delay, gain 2 memory. And for your other searchers, for wisdom training, reveal top 2, add a purple card. And then delay, you can reduce a Digivolution cost by 2. I like both. Both are kind of annoying because when you're trying to get your protoforms and then you search with you use this a lot. That's all happen a lot. You'll whiff because of protoform. So it happens, but it's worth it for the consistency and being able to cheat out Digivolutions. For the last options, we have 3 protoform. This is the best. These are the best ones. I'm doing a 3-1 split. So three protoform, 1 of the old XAnybody. Protoform, of course, I was talking about it earlier. You can digivolve into a Digimon with XAnybody, and it's named for a reduced cost of 1. And then what's really nice is that when your stack with Protoform gets removed from the field, you can actually add one of your pieces from the stack back, and then it goes into your security face down. So then it's just a nice old recovery. So really, really nice against like decks like Red Hybrid, where they just go super fast and they're just trying to chip you down as fast as possible. It's kind of hard for them to deal with like Protoform decks because it's just like you can't strip it. So they'll pop whatever body, but then your Protoform just goes back in security, and it's like whatever damage they did is like mitigated by a lot. So really, really good. And then I have the one of one of XAnybody. I was trying this as a one of. I actually was forced to play this as a one of because my buddy, shout out Dwight, he has my 4th Protoform, so that I won from a tournament. But I was forced to use this XAnybody. Again, I didn't care too much about this tournament, so I was just like, okay, it can't be the worst thing to have 1 Protoform. And also, I guess you have the threat of insecurity, but also, let's say your memory choked and you go into like, let's say Surbax, and then you tuck XAnybody underneath. You swing, you can go. This XAnybody lets you go into Lord Knight X. Lets you go into Lord Knight X for the cost. And then what's cheeky about that is that collision would still activate, so you would still have collision. They would have to block it if they're like, oh, he doesn't have enough memory to go all the way up into the Lord Knight X, and then you show this guy and they're like, oh dang, my day's ruined. That could completely turn the tide into what you need it to. Also, weirdly enough, it came up against Mirage as well, because I think what happened was I was scared to lose my stack because I think he hexed me, and then I just tucked XAnybody underneath, and I didn't want to get Zudoed and bounced because XAnybody can't be stripped, so it was super nice. I handled the hex, and then I swung with I think I digivolved the hex, and then I swung with Lord Knight X and forced collision. So that was like the one time it came up, but pretty much most of the time I wished I had 4 protos. Just for the reduced Digivolution cost, and like I said, for the recovery aspect, being able to just like stall your opponent out and get a piece back is like really, really nice. So that's it. That's my deck. For my matchups, like I said, I went 6-1-1. Let's see. So I went against round 1, 7 Demon Lords. That matchup was super, super easy. Again, the 2 Psychmon just came up. They would pop my Psychmon. They would have to Biting Crush it, Porcupamon, do whatever, right? But I just keep recurring it with Baste, with Cerberus and Baste, and Lord Knight. Even a 1-of copy. I actually bomb decked in the second game. I bomb decked 1 Psychmon, and I had another one in my hand. I didn't really care because I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna keep recurring it. So that was really easy. On top of that, being able to just swing and cause their Demon Lords to force to block is really nice, because then they don't have a body for their gates. So really easy matchup. Round 2, I went against a Vault. He was playing Mirage. I lost to 0-2. That was the hardest time that I bricked, I think, ever in Digimon. And I know people say that, but I think that had to be a statistical anomaly. I have 11 rookies here, 4 hands in a row, no rookie start for 2 turns. That was nuts. That was crazy. So of course that was an auto loss. He was playing Mirage and he didn't brick, so there was absolutely nothing I could do against that. So let alone it's kind of like, you know, it's a harder matchup for purple since he has Mirage and I have all my draws and I have no rookies. Yeah, it was he wrecked me real fast. Round 3 was Red Hybrid. Now Red Hybrid, that was 2-0. I 2-0'd all of my wins, so I was very surprised with how strong the deck performed. But Argamon was so clutch. Both games that I beat him, I did the thing where I would like play at level 4 with Lord Knight, and then I would just do Argo, and then I would have a Psychmon out. So with that combo in hand, he can't do anything because he can't do the reduce. He can't Digicross, and he can't go into an ancient. So you just have to be careful of the stack that's in raising. If they don't have if they have promo Goonie or the warping one, then you have to be careful. You have to be careful about how like your timing of your raising. But other than that, it was also a 2-0. Not bad at all. Round 4 was Galactimon. So Galactimon was like super grindy. This was my first time playing against the deck ever, and it was actually really annoying because he could wipe my bodies and he would Digicross, and I didn't know he could do any of these things, and it was just super annoying because he could go into Galactimon like super easily. So it was very grindy. That was also 2-0, but we basically went to time because I had no idea what was going on. By the time I caught on, it was a lot easier, but again, it's still grindy because you have to play safe against their stacks. So you just pretty much have to wait until they have Galactimon out, and then you go into Lord Knight, you Digivolve, whatever, and then you go. So if you don't have LORDKNIGHTMONX X, you never go out because otherwise they'll just aggress you so much and you're screwed. So you have to be patient. You have to have LORDKNIGHT X, and that was my problem one of the games. I think my game 1 I was learning the matchup. Game 2 I literally did not see LORDKNIGHT X at all, so I had to just keep stalling. And then let's see, round 5 surprisingly it was Rapidmon, which is a super free matchup. For obvious reasons, they're gonna have the Rapidmons out, and then you just Digivolve them with your LORDKNIGHT X, and then they can't blast into Mega Gargo. So super easy matchup there. You just swing and then they collision and they can't do anything. So not much to say about that one. That was also a 2-0. Round 6 was Mirage. This one was a 2-0. I redeemed myself from a Vault's Mirage matchup. Again, it's a matter of can you see enough Gazis? Can you turbo out? And do they play into your wing con, which is Digivolve? So it's really, really nasty. And then with the with Ruin Mode locking them out, I mean, it's really, really good. Round 7, 3 Great Angels, free matchup as well. Oh man, I got really lucky with matchups, I'm not even gonna lie. I played against a different deck every single round except for Mirage, which I played twice. So but it was really nice seeing how Lord Knight fared against each deck, right? Because you want versatility in your matchups. So against 3 Great Angels, again, super free matchup because you can Digivolve their Domini, and then you can prevent like whatever Digimon from Digivolving, right? So you can Digivolve and then you can swing. Or honestly, what you can do is let's say they'll have a Domini and Angelomon stack. You don't Digivolve Domini, because if you Digivolve Domini and they have an Angelomon, then they can still blast over one of their level 5s. So you just keep Domini up, and then you force to swing, and they'll either have to block with Angelomon or Domini. Super scuffed. They would need to, in order for them to play around that, they would need to have 2 level 5s, right? So the idea behind that matchup, again, you just don't Digivolve Domini, and you swing and you force collision, and they have to block. So yeah, and then if you get the restand, that's really good too, because then you can wipe both bodies. So really, really good. Last matchup was against Purple Hybrid. I went X1-1, so we tied, unfortunately. I may have been able to get it in the last round, but I didn't have when I went to pull out to do my big turn, I didn't have a rookie in raising, so I don't know, because I locked him down with Argo. That was a weird matchup, right? Because the thing is, you can Argo to stop their Purple Hybrid plays, And then also Deltamon, like I was saying before, Deltamon's really, really nasty with like LORDKNIGHTMONX, because with LORDKNIGHTMONX it's going to be 15k. Delta is a blocker, gives blocker inheritable, so that slows down. They can't swing, right? Because if they swing, you can just block it, and usually the idea is you're going to have Cerberus X. Best thing to do is to just swing delete and then you unsuspend, because if you have an extra body out and they go into their Duskmon, they can delete your body and then swing over your LORDKNIGHTX, because you'll mill 6, right? So 6, and then they'll be at what, 7, 13k, is that right? So they're just gonna be at so much DP, they could potentially swing over your LORDKNIGHTX. You want to just have low body count against them, and then Argo as well. Argo comes up, so that was pretty much it. It's annoying because Rune Mode doesn't do anything, because their level 4s are 6k, so Rune Mode felt like a useless card. But other than that, it definitely felt winnable. We just did not have had enough time. I won game 1 by swinging out. He won game 2 by milling me out, because I drew so many cards, and then we tied game 3. I had him locked down with Argo, and then that was it. We went to time. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Super fun. Ended up going 9th place. My only loss was to Evault. He ended up going 2nd, and then the purple hybrid player that I tied with got 5th place. So super bummed that I missed out on my Shine Gray, but I guess a lot of people drew and had better breakers than me, which is kind of nuts, but considering my losses. But anyways, that was it. Thanks for watching. I know it's kind of a longer one, but there's a lot of explanation there. So hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.